Today I'm going to show you guys some Alphasmart products. For those of you who grew up around the same time frame I did, in fact, these still may even be used in schools. You might be familiar with the Alphasmart, especially if you had terrible handwriting due to a syndrome known as left-handedness. That describes me to a T. My handwriting was so bad that in 1995, when I was in 5th grade, my teacher allowed me to use one of the brand new Alphasmart Pros that the school district had purchased to write a couple of different class assignments. My penmanship was awful, and there was nothing I could do about it. I wrote very well. I mean, my sentence structure was perfect. My use of vocabulary and storytelling abilities were just tremendous. In fact, I was above my age level in that regard. But my handwriting was atrocious. I blamed being left-handed on that fact, and you know what? It got me through school. But anyway, we have two Alphasmarts here. The Alphasmart 2000, which is the one that replaced the one that I used way back in 5th grade, and the Alphasmart Neo. I saved these from the trash bin, along with there were like 30 to 40 of these things, and I had to get rid of them, and I wasn't going to trash them without making a video first, but I kept 3 of them for myself just because I think they're cool, and I might end up using them. The Alphasmart 2000 was released in 1997, and in fact I have all the specifications for these two models right here on this printout from Wikipedia. Now this goes on to describe how the Alphasmart was actually invented by a couple of ex-Apple engineers, which is no surprise. It is a genius product. And really what it is a keyboard with a built-in buffer. 128 kilobyte buffer, and the ability to store files or store documents in multiple file locations. And all it really does is it mimics a keyboard when it's linked up to a computer. The cool thing about the Alphasmart, especially the Alphasmart 2000, is that it is compatible with almost every computer made since 1986. It works with any Apple product, Apple or Macintosh, with an ADB port. It works with any PC, at AT and later. I don't believe it'll work with an XT. They use different keyboard configurations, but it'll work with an AT or greater. So basically any IBM PC except for the original 8088 systems. And it will work, and I've proven this, it'll work with a modern Macintosh running OS 10.9. And, as I proved, it works with Windows 7. So these things are very useful if you're in the vintage computer collecting business and you just want something to write out notes, or, they're very popular with journalists. They're popular with, still even to this day, with school districts, especially in the special education departments. And mainly because they're indestructible, they have an excellent battery life, and they're dirt cheap, especially on the used market. But there is still a lot of people using these just as writing on the go, and that's all they do. Except for the Neo and the one that replaced it, the Dana. I think it's called the Dana. Yes, Dana. Which it actually runs a legitimate operating system. And I know the Dana more so than the Neo. In fact, according to this printout, the Neo was introduced in August of 2004 and can store 200 pages of text. It does have a built-in nickel metal hydride battery pack. Now that is optional. You can run it on AA's as well. But apparently it runs a proprietary OS, and the Dana ran Palm OS. If I'm reading this right, I believe it. Yes, it did. It actually ran Palm OS. Now there was a model in between these two, the Alphasmart 3000, which looked just like the 2000, only it had a translucent green case, similar to the Applemate 300. Is that it? eMate, I'm sorry, the eMate, the Apple eMate 300. So, what I've got for you today is an IBM PC running Windows 95. This is my beloved, salvaged from a soda spill, IBM 760 XL ThinkPad. And I have been trying like hell to get this thing to work over infrared, because remember, it supports infrared, which is pretty damn cool, especially 10 to 15 to 20 years ago, but not so much these days. It does support infrared, and I haven't had any luck getting it to work, so we're going to just give it another try before I give it up. Otherwise, I can link it up with a PS2 cable, and that works just fine. So I'm going to launch the infrared applet, or control panel. It is enabled on COM1. And let's see what happens. I'm going to turn on the Neo. Now this was charged a couple days, about a week ago. I charged this thing a week ago. Still got a full battery. And I typed out some random stuff. And what it's supposed to do is when I hit the print button, it is supposed to open up the Alphasmart utility and maybe it's the send button. Yeah, infrared mode. And I should be getting some activity, but I'm not. And that's what really bothers me. I know that infrared is turned on, and it's looking for the device, but it doesn't see it. I did install the Alphasmart utility. I must have removed it to reinstall it again. Let's do that. Let's try that again. In the meantime, I'm going to show you how the device works on a modern Mac and on a PowerBook 170. So just to reiterate, the Alphasmart series is really different from a PDA or a pocket computer, because all it is, and I can't express this enough, but all it is a PS2, USB, or ADB keyboard that has a built-in buffer and a few file functions. All it does is it stores your keystrokes in a 128 kilobyte buffer, and when it's linked to a computer and the send key is pressed, it just retypes character for character right into whatever word processor you're working with. This could be useful in a variety of ways outside of word processing. Let's say, for example, you're using Linux. Oh, I just thought of this. This is interesting. Let's say you have a couple of file commands that you run frequently on a multitude of machines. And let's say it's a lengthy string of commands. All you've got to do is plug this into your keyboard port, open up the file. You have up to 8 files, so you could have 8 different commands. You choose the command you want, open it up. I'm going to turn this on. Okay. Let's pretend file location number 8 includes a command that wipes out a certain directory. I have the command typed in, and all I have to do is hit send. And then move to my next machine, plug it in. Now, this was more of a function that could have been used way back, in the day. But anyway, we're going to just open up a word processor. I have let's see what I got here. ClarisWorks. ClarisWorks is a staple if you own Mac OS, old Macs. You can't live without ClarisWorks. It was the successor to AppleWorks, the original AppleWorks. So we're going to plug this right into the Apple Mac side. Of course, it supports PS2. Why wouldn't it, right? It automatically goes into send mode. And what it's going to do is it's going to send the data from whatever file I have open. But I don't want to send from file number 8. I want to send from a different file. So I'm going to unplug it and open up file 1. I'm going to open up my word processor, just like so. And I'm going to I'm going to plug this in. Unfortunately, I can't demonstrate this on the 2C because the 2C doesn't support ADB. So I'm going to now press the send key, and it's going to type out whatever's in that memory bank, character by character. Now, if this were a Pocket PC or a PDA or whatever, it would send that in the form of a data file instead of an actual. It's actually keystroke for keystroke. And here's another benefit: after it sent the document over, it functions as a normal keyboard. I can type in real time, and it doesn't save to the memory bank while it's doing that, or does it? Let's try. Let's unplug it and see what happens. Now, in the manual, it actually describes other functions that can be done with this device. Yeah, I didn't save it to the memory bank. So what it does is it allows you to transfer data or transfer keystrokes to the Alphasmart from a computer. So using the Alphasmart transfer utility, it's actually called something a little more granular here. The get utility, it can actually transfer data to the Alphasmart. But that is the part that I have not been able to successfully get to work. We're going to install it again. Let's just see what happens. I gave up in a fit of rage. I'm like, you know what? Screw this. It's not going to work. But while that's installing, I'm going to show you how this works on a modern. Okay, I've just plugged this into my Mac, and of course it goes to the keyboard identification wizard. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. This is the adapter that the Alphasmart uses. I believe this particular one shipped with the Alphasmart 2000. And there's a little hidden function in this adapter. It'll allow you to use any ADB keyboard with a modern Mac. And I should have saved more of these because they're hard to find. I didn't think to keep them. I had to get rid of a ton of stuff, and I had to get rid of it fast. So it's now attached to a Mac, and it's emulating an ADB keyboard, which is then emulating a USB keyboard. So we're going to follow the identification instructions because we're using it in keyboard direct mode. ANSI. Okay. Now we're ready to use it. So I'm going to open up Microsoft Word. And we're going to transfer the contents of file 1 to the Mac. Let's see how it goes. But the cool thing about the Alphasmart is, like I said before, if you own, vintage Macs or vintage PCs and modern ones, you can do all of your word processing on this, like on a plane or in the car or whatever, what have you, while you're traveling. Let's say you're writing a novel. You're only doing it in bit parts because, again, it only stores 128 kilobytes. You could use this device to type out your story and transfer it to any computer in your collection. Or, as I mentioned before, it can function as a pseudo macro keyboard. So we're going to transfer the files, just like that. There it goes. This is a story that I found in the device. I haven't erased it yet. But there it goes. It's transferring. It's still going. Keystroke by keystroke to my modern i7 MacBook Pro. If you look on eBay, these things are a dime a dozen. I think they probably go for approximately $25 to $30 a piece with accessories, which isn't bad. I mean, I have cases and manuals and data cables for mine, but only because I had so many of them. So there you go. That's everything. And by the way, this thing only runs on 3 AA batteries. There was an option. You could actually add a rechargeable battery to this, and it even has a charging port right on the side. But the rechargeable batteries aren't really worth it. I mean, it lasts forever on a set of AA's. It couldn't be simpler. But I don't believe the Alphasmart software will work on a modern Mac or a modern PC because it's so old. You don't need it though, unless you're transferring characters to the device. So setting aside the Alphasmart 2000, let's take a look at this Neo. Now this is a modern version with a dot matrix display, a higher resolution display. It still supports infrared, USB, and that's about it. It can be hooked directly to a printer supporting a direct USB connection. I don't have one to show you. Maybe I do. No, I don't. And this one actually has, like I said, the optional rechargeable batteries, but they can be taken out and replaced with AA's. A good 75% of the Alphasmarts that I had in the bin that I was getting rid of had corrosion damage from leaking batteries. These were used in a school district, and they were left over the summer with batteries in them. And the heat and humidity causes these batteries to leak. And they were all name brand batteries, Duracell, Energizer. They weren't cheap ones. Okay, so we're going to skip the install video. That doesn't seem to work. I'm going to open up the Get It folder, or the Get It disk, and manually install it. So, in order for this to work, I need Get 3.0. We're going to install it for the Alphasmart only. This is an older version of the Get utility for the 2000. There it goes. Let's go ahead and shut down old PowerBook 1.7. We'll leave her running for a little while. This thing doesn't get any exercise these days. Listen to that hard drive. It's a 2.5-inch SCSI. Yeah, baby. Alright. How was I going to say? Yeah. I like my hard drives like I like my women. SCSI. That's not right. That's not right at all. Both infrared and cable. Typical Alphasmart only. Believe it's on COM 1. Now there's a test utility. This is how I know my infrared ports actually work. If I turn the device on and I press the test IR button here, and I hit send, that circle should turn red. But because the COM port is incorrect, it is actually on COM 1, like so. I do this again, COM 1. It is a... You suck. It is COM 1, I'm telling you. Now I was going to think about it for a little while. Jerk. Oh boy. Nothing ever works. Oh, I know why. Crap. This software is using that port, so I need to disable that software. Turn that off. Apply. Now it shouldn't disable my COM port, or my infrared port. Watch this. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open up the software, do another communications test. There's Alphasmart, Alpha Beam, IR setup, test IR. There it goes. Now what we're going to do is hit the send key again. Okay. And we should see activity on COM 1. Oh boy. Maybe we should restart first. Let's do that. This is really a pain in the ass, I'll be honest. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try to send or beam information from one Alphasmart to the other. I'm going to turn this one back on, and I'm going to send this file to file number, let's do file 2. I think that's empty. And all I've got to do is get it within infrared range, turn them both on, and we're going to send this file to the other Alphasmart. Now this one should see that I'm doing that. No, maybe not. Let's see. So, let me talk to you a little bit about the beaming function from one device to the other, and how it got me in serious trouble, or almost did. I was in class, and one of my fellow classmates also had an Alphasmart, and we started beaming messages to each other. It's kind of like, well, back then it was like a high-tech note passing, like, Susie sucks, or I don't know what we were saying, but it was nothing educational. And he sent me a joke that he made up on his highly sophisticated brain. It was racially charged and full of sexual connotations. And he beamed his little joke to my Alphasmart just as the teacher was walking behind me. Boy, was my face red. I had to talk myself out of that one. She was not happy. Oh boy. No, that was bad. Alright, so how do we receive? Okay. I think what I need to do is read the manual. Let's see. Oh, looks like our computer's booted up. Sending text to a Macintosh. Spelled. Oh, it has spell check. That's cool. Let's try that. Run. R-U-N-N. And applets. Oh, the Alphasmart Neo actually has control panels and stuff, where the Alphasmart 2000 did not. What's Beamer 1.01? Oh, here we go. Receive. Ha! There we go. Let's try this. Send it. Send. Where's the send key? There it goes. Ready to receive. No, not so much. No, I didn't like it. Alright, let me read the manual and see if I can figure it out. Okay, we've made terrific progress. I like progress, don't you? Well, I got two things working. Number one, I got unit-to-unit transfer to work between the Neo and the other Neo that I grabbed. The Neo will not transfer or receive data to or from the Alphasmart 2000. You need another Alphasmart 2000. Apparently they're not compatible. Nor is the Neo compatible with the Alphasmart 2000 software. Makes sense. So what I've done to get this to work, after a little bit of fighting and some kind of backtracking mentally, is that I had to change the infrared transceiver to COM3. After I did that, the Alphasmart 2000 started to work. So we're going to use the GET utility to transfer wirelessly or to beam data over a wireless connection. That is wrong folder, idiot, dumbass. Okay, here we go. Alphasmart GET utility, there it is. So let's see what happens. If I hit the send key, it should work with it sitting on my lap. Don't make a liar out of me. There it goes. Alphasmart found. And I can select the file that I want to choose from 1 through 8. Like so. We're going to transfer or receive text from file 1. There it is. And it pastes it into the clipboard. I can then open up my document editor and paste it into the document like so. There it is. This is Word 95 that we're using. I can also transfer text to the Alphasmart. What we're going to do is open up a text document and we're going to transfer the contents directly to the Alphasmart. Let's go ahead and open up the FRUN log. We're going to open. We're going to transfer the contents of this file to the Alphasmart 2000. That's good enough. Alright. So watch this. We're going to transfer it to file number 2. Which is, it should be empty. Yep. Okay. So let's go back to the get utility. Send text to Alphasmart. Oh, it's sending the contents of my clipboard. So it's going to send it to file 2 or file 1. So let's press the escape key. There it is. We're in file 1 and there is my FRUN log. And I can scroll up or down. Pretty cool. Now that was old technology beaming from a computer to a device. And I think that's awesome. Okay, now I'm going to show you how the Neo can transfer from unit to unit. Now the Neo has a more advanced interface. It's running an actual operating system, a proprietary one, but it's an OS nonetheless. We're going to go into the, I haven't really played with this yet, but I'm opening up the Applets tool. It has a built-in calculator. And, oh, this is just the help key. So, if I did, let's see what this does here. Open up file 1. We'll hit that key again. Where's the escape key? No, huh? End? Nope. Oh, this has got all kinds of cool stuff in it. That's awesome. Why can't I escape? There is no escaping. Oh, I just hit Alpha Word Plus. Okay, there we go. Let's open up file 1. We're going to clear it out. To delete a file, by the way, you just hit the delete key. There's a, where is it? There's a spell check key, by the way. Let's try run spot. Run. And if I hit the spell check key, it gives me suggestions for changing certain words. So I'm going to change run to run and spot to spot and run to run. File check complete. Spell check complete. There it is. Run spot run. Now allegedly there's a calculator function. If I did 1 plus 1 and hit return equals return. No. No, huh? Let's open up the calculator. What the hell? Home. Oh, I'm already in it. So 1 plus 1. Oh, I get it now. Equals 2. There it is. So if I hit escape, hit it again. Is there a clear file? No, huh? Very interesting. Okay, let's go back to our applets key. Escape to exit. Open that up. See, I can't go back and see what the valid keys are. The full help menu. Maybe I can, maybe not. Alright. Oh, I figured it out. It just tells you what the key... ignore me. Ha! Not that you aren't already. Okay. Control panel. Spell check settings. Alpha word settings. You can do reset all file passwords. Press escape to continue. There we go. Let's see. I'm going to try to look at this through the camera so you can all see it. This is good stuff. Keywords 3.3. Teacher options. Add a student. Let's go back. Beamer, we've used that. Now let's go ahead and beam something. So I'm going to beam the contents. Well, first we need contents. So let's go ahead and exit out of the applets. Go to Alpha Word Plus. File 1. We're going to say hello world. There's the caps lock indicator, by the way. I'm going to beam that to this Alphasmart Neo. I am going to send it to file 2. So what I've got to do is exit first. Exit everything. Go back to Alpha Word Plus. Okay, we're going to send it to file 2. Or file 1. Why not file 1? File 1 should be fun. Clear file. Press yes for yes. Okay. Then I'm going to set it to receive mode. Okay. Just put it back to back. And I'm going to send this to that wirelessly through the air. It's magic. Just watch. Send file 1. Press the send key to start beaming. Boom. And it's done. Now, it's allowing me to choose the file on this end where I want it to go, and I'm going to say file 1. Okay, done. Escape to cancel. Press enter key. Escape to cancel. There it is. Now if I exit out and then just open file 1, it says hello world. That's pretty damn cool. I don't care who you are. That's damn cool. So there's our lesson on the Alphasmart series. And I'm going to go over now with you some boring specifications regarding the Alphasmart Neo. Actually, let's talk about the company. They were founded in 1992, again by 2 previous Apple engineers. And they filed their patents and were granted in 1995. The Alphasmart original was identical to the Alphasmart Pro that I grew up with one exception. The Alphasmart original did not support PS2. The Alphasmart Pro added that functionality. Because apples are more prevalent in education, they designed the Alphasmart around the Apple. And as you can clearly see, it actually has the Apple command keys. Which is not surprising. The company basically folded very recently. Let's see. I think they ceased operation just within the past couple of years. And their last product was the Alphasmart Dana, which was released in '03. Good read. Check it out. If you are a fan of the Alphasmarts and you want to learn more about them, I insist you go on to the Wikipedia page and check it out. There's a lot of cool info. I only scratched the surface, but at least I can show you 3 different units. Well, 2 identical, 1 different. I had an Alphasmart 3000, but it was one of the hardest to find. In my scrap bin of Alphasmarts, they were all suffering from leaking rechargeable batteries, and I didn't want to take any chances. I don't want it. If it's leaking, I don't want it. And this, by the way, if you've ever seen them, is the Alphasmart case. This is the official case, and I have one for each one that I salvaged. With that, we're going to shut down our PowerBook 170. We're going to close up my beloved brick, and I'm going to go upstairs and go to bed because it's getting late. It is 10:23. So until then, keep on